week's segment of And Now You Know with Realtor Row. So I was chatting with someone about saving up for a down payment, and it became apparent that they thought they needed to have 20% down, and they were thinking that it just wouldn't be worth it if they didn't put down 20%, assuming they would have higher interest rates and costs associated with a different loan. So I explained to them that there are actually a number of programs available that do not require 20% down. Now, you do have to consider private mortgage insurance as an added expense. However, there is actually a way to request the seller to cover part of your closing costs, and then that money can be used to pay for private mortgage insurance in advance. And it's at a very big savings as opposed to paying it over the life of the loan. So that's something to consider. So back to down payments. So there are programs that do offer down payment assistance, and each program does have its own requirements, and you do need to meet the criteria. Things like an income maximum, a credit score minimum, and debt to income ratio maximums. So for each of the programs, that can vary. Of course, your loan officer would be able to give more details. But to give you an idea of some of those programs available, one is called Grants for Grads. And so if you complete a college degree in Ohio, you agree to stay in Ohio, and in that case, you can receive down payment assistance, and the money does not need to be repaid if you stay in the home for 5 years. Another program is called, it's a HEROES program, and it is open to military veterans, first responders, and teachers, and it has a lower interest rate. It offers that down payment assistance, and so that is something that is available if you do meet that criteria as well. And then there is a popular program that is through the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, and you may have heard people refer to that as OFA. And now that program does have its own underwriting guidelines, and so it does take a little bit longer if you're using that because you do need to go through another underwriting process, which can add time to your loan. So that is something that needs to be considered. And then as far as your down payment and how much is required for the different lending programs, of course, conventional can be as low as 5%. Then you have Home Ready, which actually is another conventional program that's 3%. And that one is a program that it's for targeted areas as well as your income as far as maximum income, also the price of the home, your credit score, the debt to income ratio, those things are all considered for that program as well. But once again, 3% for that program. Another is FHA, of course, 3.5% down. And then your USDA is for the rural areas, and that is a 0% down program. And then your VA loans are for military and veterans, and that once again is also 0 down. So I hope that you learned something. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I work with excellent lenders that are a terrific resource. So I hope that you learned something, and any other questions, I'm happy to answer them. If you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, or YouTube, you'll be notified the next time I put out a segment of And Now You Know with Realtor Row. Thanks so much. Enjoy.